And welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning, welcoming Pam Sprouse from Ohio Billing. Good morning.
Good morning, Susie.
And also EMS. And we are about to, next week, launch National EMS Week. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, National EMS Week kicks off actually on May 19th through the 25th, and it's a way to salute those always in service. We take for granted when we see the ambulances go up and down the highways or we hear the sirens, etc. Those individuals that are always in service, protecting, serving, and saving those of us. So this is National EMS Week is a way to salute those and acknowledge those. And if you know anybody out there that's in the EMS world, make sure you take a moment and tell them thank you for what they do.
Absolutely. Every day. We don't have to just do that one week.
Absolutely.
Where does Ohio Billing fit into all of this?
Where we fit into it, Susie, good question, is we are an EMS billing service for communities throughout the state of Ohio. So the ambulance service, we handle all their billings out to the insurance companies, wherever it may be. And we are a way for them to generate revenue for their communities to offset. You know, people don't realize a lot of the time what goes into operating from equipment, ambulance services, crew members. Where do they get all those dollars? And sometimes they'll go back to taxpayers, and this gives them an opportunity to offset that. And so our company has the opportunity to help recover those revenues for those communities.
But it seems like, you know, there are billing companies, and then there are billing companies that believe so passionately about what they are connected with, and you seem to be more in that ilk.
We are. You know, we're very passionate. We are in the heart of Ohio, located in Bolivar. But whether our clients are in Tuscarawas, Stark, we have customers all over the state of Ohio. We are a part of their community, and we are very passionate because, you know, it's all about I have an analogy, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Life is a puzzle, and connecting pieces of the puzzle and people and finding resources to help them. And it's about building relationships, and that's what makes this all successful and so rewarding.
Well, so rewarding, and you're so involved that we're going to be having a wonderful event on May 20th. So tell me all about it.
Yes, we are so excited. We are hosting an EMS breakfast on May 20th at 8 o'clock in the morning at the Technology Center, which it's the Talati Technology Incubator in New Philadelphia. And if you're familiar with that area, it's up behind Buckeye Career Center. And it is open. You can register. It's a complimentary event. You can register by going to ohiobilling.com. And this is a way for us to salute those always in service called to care.
Who's invited?
Anyone can come and join. It's open to EMS personnel throughout the area, as well as business people, community people, and general folks like you and I. Anybody is welcome as long as you register. We are so excited. We have a dynamic speaker coming in, Sue Ramsey. She is the Division II Ashland Eagles women's basketball coach, who has now since retired.
Yes.
She has a dynamic presentation on team building and knowing your role and taking that information and putting it into our everyday walk of life.
And you've gotten to hear her enough times that I love the way you are able to tell a little bit about what she's going to talk about, probably almost as well as she could.
Well, I don't know about that. She has a unique approach to it. I won't take that away from Sue. She does a fantastic job, a great job. But, you know, it's really it makes you stop and think of what is your role. And one of her stories, and I don't want to give away all of her stories, but she was talking about her senior student and one of her final games. And she, through the summer, knowing it was going to be her final year as a basketball player and making some changes for the younger classmates coming in. And it used to be the role of the younger classmates carrying the laundry for the upperclassmen. And she told Coach Sue Ramsey that she thinks they need to change that. And as a leader, it was part of her role to make that switch and let her carry the laundry.
Oh, my.
And Sue tells the story, and I don't want to give it all away, but about one of the final games that Sue coached and this young lady played. And coming out of the locker room, and she saw the team coming towards her, and here was this young lady carrying the laundry, and that she was honored to do that. So many times we tend to reverse that role, and it really shouldn't be. Yeah. And we as leaders in the area, as tenure service, we need to embrace that younger population and groom them to come up through. So she just has a really unique approach to everything. And this, as I mentioned, this will be my 5th time to hear her speak. and I'm really excited. I'm really pumped up. So, I would encourage anyone, if you're out there listening, and I know you are out there listening, to check your calendar, join us on the 20th, because you will walk away feeling refreshed and highly rewarded.
Mm-hmm. So get to hear Sue Ramsey. Yeah, I love that. And it goes right to who's going to be the greatest among you, the person who makes themselves the least, the servant leadership idea.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it truly is. Why is teamwork so important to say to this particular group at this particular event?
Well, without the teamwork, knowing your role, and especially in the EMS, not everybody drives the ambulance. Not everybody sits in the back. There are people that have strengths and weaknesses in different categories. So it's important for them to all gel together and know where they play out in this big picture, because that's our life that they're dealing with.
This event is free. Let's go back and let me just make sure I've got that straight. This is free with registration.
Let's use the word complimentary. But you know what? I'm going to give a shout out to all of our breakfast partners.
Please
because
do.
Without them, none of this would be possible. And they've all come together. And Advotech out of the Midvale, Ohio area, Braylers Cleaning and Restoration in Massillon, HRN out of the New Philadelphia, First National Bank at Denison, Trinity, Twin City Hospital, the Bambeck team, IMS Solutions, Swiss Village Insurance, Triple S Energy, EMS Charts, Cleveland Clinic Union Hospital, A1 Tire, EMS Health Solutions. We also have our fine folks here at WNPQ and WBTC, Bloom's Printing, and the Small Business Development Center of Kent State Tusk.
So thank you to all of them for making this possible.
Absolutely.
So what do we get? What is breakfast going to include?
Breakfast, of course, it's going to delicious food from Kathy's Catering. She's going to be providing a complimentary breakfast, and there'll be other exhibitors there with some other trinket items and a lot of interaction. So here again, planting seeds, connecting people before Sue starts to speak. And I think that's also what's very important with all of that.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about the character of those emergency responders, what it takes to be that first responder, and those who really work so hard to keep us safe.
They're amazing. And, from rural market America to the city life, they're the first on scene. They have no idea what they're going to encounter when they get there. Running the stats of what has transpired in 2018 through the Division of EMS, alone in the state of Ohio, there was over 1,639,000 EMS calls in the state of Ohio. And we're looking right here in our backyard in Stark County. There were over 62,000 right here in Stark, and over 7,800 in Tuscarawas County.
My gosh. So that's like in a year?
In a year, in the calendar year of 2018. So when you take a look at that, those people, God has definitely given them something special on the inside. And I go back, my husband works at a vocational school, and he sees a lot of the publications come through. And when I started with the company years ago, I thought, it'd be kind of neat to go get my EMT license to understand on the other side. And he brought a book home for me one day, and the book fell open to a picture that was not very favorable. And I ended up making it a lampstand. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I'll stay on the inside of my controlled environment, because it definitely takes a special person to go out there and do what they do day in and day out. They are definitely a blessing from up above.
Mm-hmm. I think we don't think about what happens on the other end of a 911 call. It's what exactly is their response? How do they get us where we need to be so quickly? we're in the middle of being frantic.
Absolutely. And here again, they're through special training, but, everybody can have the training, but it takes something special on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And through the years, we've had the opportunity to meet some amazing people, men and women. And we see the younger generation coming through the ranks to the senior population. So it's quite interesting to see everybody and hear their story and how they got into it. But they definitely have a blessing from above and a gift. And I want to thank each and every one of them every day.
Absolutely. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us to get to do that. We don't realize that it's got to be hard to shake what they go through all day long when they go home. How do they not take all the worries of the world home with them?
Yeah. And I've had the opportunity to talk to a couple of different chiefs, and one in particular. And, whenever there is a situation that may happen that's not very favorable, pulling his team together. And that's how he marked it, as pulling my team together and sitting down and, talking. And that would be very hard because we don't think about that side of it. You hear the stories on TV, but you're right, they go home. So how do they handle that? And how can they get back in that ambulance and the next day continue on? So we are very thankful for those people that are called to protect, serve, and save, and they're always in service. And we're excited about this is a way for us to give back to them and salute them and thank them.
Mm-hmm. Just a nice way to say thank you. And Ohio Billing, how long have you been doing this breakfast?
This will be our third year that we've hosted this event. And once again, we're all about planting seeds and building relationships and pulling it together. And so this will be our third event this year.
Don't you find that this kind of person, the last thing they want is recognition? That's not why they're doing what they're doing.
That's correct. They're very humble people, and that is exactly correct. But pulling it together and seeing the smile on their face, and that's rewarding to us, and letting them know that they are appreciated. And I'm sure others out there in radio listening land have told them, how much they appreciate them. But this was our way of saluting them and telling them thank you.
How do we get registered for this?
That's a great question. You can go to ohiobilling.com and click on the link, and it'll take you to the registration. And we'd love to have all those out there listening to join us.
And again, thanks to the wonderful sponsors.
Absolutely.
This is a complimentary breakfast.
Yes, it is.
And an opportunity to hear Sue Ramsey and hear her speak, and an opportunity to say thank you to these folks who put it out there on the line for us every day. We are going to take a very short break. We'll be back with Pam Sprouse from Ohio Billing. And again, go to ohiobilling.com to make your reservation and finding out more about EMS, and maybe get a chance to hear some of these stories. But this will be the EMS breakfast taking place again May 20th at Talati Technology Incubator. Starts at 8 a.m. And go to ohiobilling.com to register. We will be back after these few words. We'll be back with Pam after these words. You're listening to Our Community.